Today we will discuss about the effect of matrix stiffness on stromal cells. Stromal cells are the cells that are surrounded by uh, tumors. So what happens in these stromal cells because of the matrix stiffness is that it will also trigger this TAZ upregulations within the stromal cells because of the matrix stiffness. So what happens? The matrix stiffness leads to the rock in this rock pathway increase. It will lead to the MRLC increase, and it will cause these contractions. And these contractions will trigger YAP-TAZ increase. At the same time, this increase in the rock will lead to the snail increase, and that will trigger YAP-TAZ upregulation. And this YAP-TAZ upregulation will trigger formation of more collagen. And more collagen will be formed, and it will undergo more contractions. And these collagen and contractions will again lead to the further matrix stiffening. So this actually act as a feedback loop, act in a positive feedback loop, that it will cause to the further stiffness of the matrix, and that will lead to the further upregulation of YAP-TAZ. And this further contributes towards the aggressiveness of the cancers in a way that these cancer cells will help the cancer cells now. It will help the cancer cells towards this proliferation, invasions, and however, for some studies it shows that it will downregulate metastasis, but in general, matrix stiffness will help the cancer cells in improving these metastatic properties. So that is why at the initial stage, or the normal cells are usually found in the lower stiffness or lower stiffness of matrices, and as soon as the cancer progresses, because cancer has the ability to generate more collagen, and that will lead to the contractions, and that will finally leads to the matrix stiffness. So this cycle will continue on its own once it is triggered, and that will lead to the cancer cells to become more aggressive with time at higher stages. And other things that also contributes in this process is this snail-1. Snail-1 is a marker for EMT, that is epithelial to mesochemical transition. So from this we can also get idea that stiffness will trigger increase in the snail-1, or it will promote EMT, this epithelial to mesochemical transitions. As snail-1 increases, is a sign that cells are in epithelial to mesochemical transition. And and apart from so this information is about the stromal cells, how stromal cells helps the cancer cells. In the previous video we have discussed this YAP-TAZ effect directly on the tumor cells or the cancer cells. So in both the cases, that is in the stromal cells and also in the tumor cells, this upregulation of YAP-TAZ will lead to the tumor proliferations or tumor aggressiveness. And CAF is the cancer associated fibroblast. So it is mainly composed of this collagen contractions and the tumor microenvironment also. That is tumor microenvironment are usually found in the solid tumors, where solid tumors are surrounded by the environment surrounding the solid tumors is collectively known as tumor microenvironment. So this is what they have presented in this review figure. There they have shown that this stiffness, once it is occurred, so it will continue to accelerate itself unless unless this process is been triggered by some external or stopped by some external media, disturbed by some external media. So so the best idea should be to remove the solid tumors and the surrounding area. However, it becomes challenging as the tumor cells become more metastatic in nature, as at that point of time most of these small tumors particles are spread across different parts of the body, and currently it is not possible to efficiently remove all those small tumor particles. So that's all for this video. I hope you understood the effect of matrix stiffness on the stromal cells. If you need to understand more about these experiments in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.